It's time for another episode of Ask the Lawyer, and today we're going to ask how you should deal with insurance companies after you're in an auto accident. And I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and my guest today here to answer our questions is attorney Ben Dominguez of the Ben Dominguez Law Firm in Houston. Ben, thank you for making some time for us today. I appreciate that.
Good morning. Thank you.
So I'm in an auto accident. I'm going to have to deal with my insurance company, the other person's insurance company, but insurance companies tell me all the time on TV, Ben, they're on my side. They're here for me. I can trust them to have my best interests at heart, right?
Good question. Can you trust them to have your best interests at heart? Well, if it's the other person's insurance company, no, because they do not have an obligation to protect your interest. If it's your own insurance company, yes, they should have an obligation to protect your interest. And what happens in car accidents is, if I was hit by someone, I want the other person's insurance to pay for my car.
Right.
And that's where I go to first, the other insurance companies. And normally, the smart thing to do is go to your own. Let your own insurance pay for it, and then they will go to the other person's insurance company and get reimbursed. However, there's a caveat. If you're worried about the claims made against your own policy, then definitely go to the other person's insurance company. That's the smartest thing to do. But keep in mind, the other insurance company A, we'll call them, or O, let's call them O, insurance company O, will have all tools necessary to delay or even attempt to repair your car and not repair all of your car or use parts that don't meet the standards or even take it to a place that you would not want to take it to. Mm-hmm. So there are all kinds of sorts of problems that occur when you use insurance company O.
What if I'm injured in that? Let's take it a step farther. If I'm injured in the accident, should I expect that insurance company O is going to reach out to me and want to make a settlement really fast, get me to sign something right away?
Well, sometimes this is what happens. I've seen two primary things happen. Number one, if the accident is a bad accident and both cars are totaled and it just looks very bad, then a smart insurance company will reach out to me because I'm hurt. And they'll say, $5,000, we're going to give this to you for your pain, but sign this release. And me, being an unwitting consumer, will say, thank you. I didn't solicit this, so it must be coming from the heart. Let me sign off on this document and take the money. Well, what happens is you sign off on the document and it's a release. It says you cannot pursue a claim against the person that caused the accident. Meaning if you're hurt or if you have to get surgery or lingering pain or other medical attention is necessary, then that other person's insurance company, Insurance O, will not be obliged or be obligated to pay for your damages or your medical bills beyond the $5,000 they gave to you up front. That's the first thing that could happen.
Right.
And that could happen with big auto accidents. And again, I'm not criticizing Insurance O, but they may not know how bad you're hurt, but they see the property damage and say, okay, this could be bad. Let's make a smart business decision and get a release. Okay, so it's a business decision. The second thing that can happen is Insurance O might see there's an accident and they may say, okay, well, we know you're hurt. We'll get you to a doctor. And then they don't call you back. And they may do that because they don't know who's responsible yet or who their insured is yet. And so they don't call you back, or there's a delay for some reason. But keep in mind, when they do that, there's no obligation by Insurance O to call me or to make sure that I go to a doctor. There's no obligation, fiduciary obligation. There's no financial obligation. There's no obligation at all that would want them or have them call me and say, hey, make sure you go to a doctor so we can find out what your damages are and we pay you. And that's why attorneys are so important, because if I'm hurt and I don't know what to do and I've never dealt with insurance companies, it's my first accident where I have to get treatment, the smart thing to do for me would be to call an attorney who has experience in dealing with insurance companies who has experience in dealing with personal injury claims so that they can guide me through all the possible pitfalls that occur in this process. That would be the smart thing for me to do.
Now, Ben, what if I think it may have been all my fault, or maybe I'm at least partially at fault for the accident? Does that mean I shouldn't contact an attorney? I don't have a case? How does that work specifically in Texas?
Good question. I was in an accident a couple of years ago, and the first thing I did was got out of the car and I said, I'm sorry. Of course, I apologize, not necessarily for being at fault, but like for being part of the accident. I apologize if the person was hurt or for any role I had in the accident. Okay, number one, that was the first thing I did. But after the fact, when the police came and I evaluated what happened, I learned that I had the green light, the other person had a red light. And so whatever happens initially, the most important thing is call an attorney, get the police report, have the attorney get the police report, let him evaluate the case, let the attorney call the witnesses, let the attorney apply the law to the facts of the case and tell you, this is what I think. You're at fault, or you're partially at fault, or you're not at fault. Let an advisor tell you what the law is and what the outcome may be. That would be the smart thing to do. Let the attorney do the work, just like a doctor. You go to a doctor, you have pain in your heart, you can look up Google and say, okay, this is what I think. Well, of course, the smart thing to do is call a cardiologist, find out what's wrong with your heart, let him run you through some tests to give you some correct, detailed information. Same thing with the lawyer.
Is there any scenario, Ben, where I need to be careful what I say to my own insurance company? I'm obligated to talk to them, but is there a point where I need to just not open my mouth about certain things?
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, whatever you say to an attorney is confidential. An attorney ethically cannot say what you tell them to anyone.
Right.
For example, my client says, oh, my back hurts, I don't know what to do. The attorney is not going to tell the insurance company, hey, his back hurts, he doesn't know what to do. Okay? It's all confidential information. But the insurance company, your own insurance company, you can tell them whatever you want, but on the same hand, they do not have an obligation to keep your information confidential.
Ah, okay.
Remember, what they're doing is they're collecting data so they can make an assessment as to what the liability is or what their possible exposure is to the other person or to you, depending upon what type of insurance you had. So in that light, back to getting an attorney. An attorney knows what the pitfalls are. An attorney will know what the legal obligations of the insurance company is to you, if it's your own insurance company. And that's why it's always intelligent to call your attorney or find a competent attorney so that you know and you can be guided as to what you should tell the insurance company and what you shouldn't tell the insurance company.
And when it comes to the other driver's insurance company, if I've got somebody like you on my side, it's okay for me to go, I'm not going to talk to you about anything. You need to talk to my attorney. Is that correct?
Well, another good question. Always keep in mind that the other person's insurance company is a potential adversary. I always start off with them, insurance company, as an adversary, but it's a potential adversary as well. So always be careful what you're going to tell an adversary. You never know when they're going to use information you tell them against you. And it's more prudent just to keep quiet, call an attorney, tell them confidentially what happened, and let the attorney take care of the rest for you.
What if I'm thinking?
Take a big burden off you and take the stress away. I mean, there's so many ways that an attorney can help you. And one of them is he can hear you out. He can take the stress off you. He can tell you what's wrong. He can tell you up front what's wrong. That way you're not worrying. He can tell you what the problems will be in advance and educate in advance what to expect.
And I guess a experienced attorney in this area may know of things, damages and that sort of thing that I would never have thought of myself.
Well, yes, another good question. Thank you. True. Sometimes I'll have clients who go to a doctor and after a week's treatment, they'll say, okay, I'm fine. Well, that's the first thing people are going to tell another person or a doctor, I'm fine. But if a doctor digs, they'll say, well, can you touch your toes? Can you squat? Can you lift your arms? Can you put a light bulb up? No, I can't. Well, could you do that before the accident? Yes, I could. Okay, well, you may feel fine, but you have certain body limitations that we need to find out how far back it's going to go or how long it's going to last. And those are important issues that a doctor can address. And a doctor can convey that information to an attorney, but then an attorney can use that information to contend with and negotiate on your behalf with the insurance company.
Now, you mentioned can help lift a burden. What if, so I'm in an accident, maybe, at the very least, I'm going to have to get my car fixed. Maybe I'm injured. Maybe I've got medical bills. Maybe I'm going to be out of work. What if I'm thinking, I don't think I can afford an attorney right now, such as yourself? What do you say to that?
Cannot afford not to have an attorney, but the easy thing is most attorneys will represent you in an auto accident case on what's called a contingency fee, meaning the attorney does not get paid until he settles the case. And then that attorney will get a portion of the settlement. And there's a range depending upon which state you're in. But in Texas, it's usually 33% of the settlement prior to a lawsuit being filed, and then 40% once a lawsuit is filed. That's the norm in the state of Texas.
And if somebody's not even sure if they've got a case or not, they can always reach out, and you'll, in an initial consultation, help walk them through at least with some of the facts and find out if you think they have a case to start with, correct?
Yeah, some of these items we're talking about are some of the questions we want to get answers to right up front. And so we can give a client, a potential client, initial information of what to expect from the insurance company, how we would want to go forward with the case, how we would handle the case, and also counsel the patient to be patient, because sometimes these things can take time. It doesn't take a month. It can take 6 months or a year, or even longer, depending if you have to file a lawsuit. But we like to fully inform the client as to what to expect, and then we fully inform the client as to how they should be involved. And we like to have full disclosure with the client so that we have a successful conclusion to the case.
As usual, very helpful information, Ben. I appreciate your time today. Thanks for answering our questions.
Thank you for your time.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been attorney Ben Dominguez of the Houston-based Ben Dominguez Law Firm. If you want the best information about personal injury law, or you're ready to choose a lawyer that lawyers choose, make sure to visit askthelawyer.com. Also, please take a sec and click on the button at the bottom of the screen so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Rosenthal with askthelawyer.com.